This is a study of God's laws of love. In this presentation, words between red quotation marks are the words of Christ. All scripture is from the King James Version of the Bible, unless noted otherwise. God is love. 1 John 4, verse 8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Verse 16. And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love. And he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. God is love. Notice, God is not just loving, he is love. He is not the verb loving, but rather the noun love. His character is love. God's instructions are to love. Matthew 22, verse 37, Jesus said unto him, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. Verse 38, this is the first and great commandment. Verse 39, and the second is like unto it, Thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. Verse 40, on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Love the Lord thy God with all thy heart. Love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law. God's two laws of love. God's two great laws of love. Love God, love neighbor. But what does it mean to love God? What does it mean to love your neighbor? What does it look like to love? God's 10 laws of love. The 10 commandments are a word picture of the great two. The 10 commandments explain how to love your God and how to love your neighbor. The first 4 of the 10 explain how to love your God. What it looks like to love God. Commandment number 1. Exodus 20, verse 3. Thou shalt have no other gods before me. To love God, you worship nothing else. Nothing else is to be equal to or more important than God. What would it be like if the whole world put God first? What it looks like to love God, commandment number 2. Exodus 20, verse 4. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. Verse 5. Thou shalt not bow down thyself to them, nor serve them, for I the Lord thy God am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children unto the 3rd and 4th generation of them that hate me. Verse 6, and showing mercy unto thousands of them that love me and keep my commandments. To love God, you do not worship anything that God has created or that man has made. It also means protecting God's image. What it looks like to love God, commandment number 3. Exodus 20, verse 7, Thou shalt not take the name of the Lord thy God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless that taketh his name in vain. To love God, you do not use his name in an irreverent way, nor, more importantly, claim to be a Christian and then live in a way that dishonors him. You should protect God's name at all cost. What it looks like to love God, commandment number 4. Exodus 20, verse 8, remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. Verse 9, 6 days shalt thou labor and do all thy work. Verse 10, but the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord thy God. In it thou shalt not do any work, thou, nor thy son, nor thy daughter, thy manservant, nor thy maidservant, nor thy cattle, nor thy stranger that is within thy gates. Verse 11, for in 6 days the Lord made heaven and earth, the sea and all that is in them is, and rested the 7th day. Wherefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. To love God, you give him a 7th of your time. The 7th day Sabbath is the very special day that God has blessed and set aside for holy use. The Sabbath is the day on which he wants to spend special time fellowshipping with you and all who love him, It means protecting and respecting God's holy day. The last 6 of the 10 explain how to love your neighbor. What it looks like to love your neighbor, commandment number 5. Exodus 20, verse 12. Honor thy father and thy mother, that thy days may be long upon the land which the Lord thy God giveth thee.
Keeping this commandment results in a promised blessing.
To love your neighbor means to honor and respect your parents. What it looks like to love your neighbor, commandment number 6. Exodus 20, verse 13. Thou shalt not kill. To love your neighbor means to not kill or even desire to kill. This includes loving and not killing your enemy. Matthew 5, verse 22. But I say unto you that whosoever is angry with his brother without a cause shall be in danger of the judgment. And whosoever shall say to his brother, Reka, shall be in danger of the council. But whosoever shall say, Thou fool, shall be in danger of hellfire. Matthew 5, verse 44. But I say unto you, love your enemies, bless them that curse you, do good to them that hate you, and pray for them which despitefully use you and persecute you. What it looks like to love your neighbor, commandment number 7. Exodus 20, verse 14. Thou shalt not commit adultery. To love your spouse means to not have sexual relations with any other person or desire to. Matthew 5, verse 28. But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her hath committed adultery with her already in his heart. What it looks like to love your neighbor, commandment number 8. Exodus 20, verse 15. Thou shalt not steal. To love your neighbor means to not take anything that belongs to him or her or desire to do so. What it looks like to love your neighbor, commandment number 9. Exodus 20, verse 16. Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. To love your neighbor is to not tell lies to or about him or her. It means protecting your neighbor's reputation. Inside of the holy city are no liars. Revelation 21, verse 27. And there shall in no wise enter into it, holy Jerusalem, verse 10, anything that defileth, neither whosoever worketh abomination or maketh a lie, but they which are written in the Lamb's book of life. All liars will be outside of the holy city. Revelation 22, verse 15. For without are dogs, and sorcerers, and whoremongers, and murderers, and idolaters, and whosoever loveth and maketh a lie. What it looks like to love your neighbor, commandment number 10. Exodus 20, verse 17. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's house. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's wife, nor his manservant, nor his maidservant, nor his ox, nor his ass, nor anything that is thy neighbor's. To love your neighbor means not to desire to have anything that belongs to him or her. It's loving and respecting your neighbor in all situations. John 14, Christ says, verse 15, If ye love me, keep my commandments. Because the 10 commandments are a word picture of what it looks like to love. You cannot keep his commandments without loving him. You cannot love him without keeping his commandments. Loving Christ and your fellow man is what it looks like to keep his commandments. 1 John 2, verse 3, And hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his commandments. Keeping the 10 commandments is evidence that you know him. Verse 4, He that saith, I know him, and keepeth not his commandments, is a liar, and the truth is not in him. If you claim to know him, but break the 10 commandments, it is evidence that you are not telling the truth. Verse 5, But whoso keepeth his word, in him verily is the love of God perfected. Hereby know we that we are in him. Keeping his 10 commandments is evidence that God's love is being perfected in you. God is all about love. Romans 13, verse 10, Love worketh no ill to his neighbor. Therefore, love is the fulfilling of the law. 1 John 4, verse 7. Beloved, let us love one another, for love is of God, and every one that loveth is born of God, and knoweth God. Verse 8. He that loveth not knoweth not God, for God is love. Verse 12. No man hath seen God at any time. If we love one another, God dwelleth in us, and his love is perfected in us. Verse 16. And we have known and believed the love that God hath to us. God is love, and he that dwelleth in love dwelleth in God, and God in him. Verse 20. If a man say, I love God, and hateth his brother, he is a liar. For he that loveth not his brother whom he hath seen, how can he love God whom he hath not seen? Verse 21. And this commandment have we from him, that he who loveth God love his brother also. First John 5, verse 2. By this we know that we love the children of God, when we love God and keep his commandments. Verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous. Is it possible for love to be grievous? John 14, verse 21. He that hath my commandments, and keepeth them, he it is that loveth me. And he that loveth me shall be loved of my Father, and I will love him, and will manifest myself to him. Verse 23. Jesus answered and said unto him, If a man love me, he will keep my words, and my Father will love him, and we will come unto him, and make our abode with him. Verse 24. He that loveth me not keepeth not my sayings, and the word which ye hear is not mine, but the Father's which sent me.
This is just an overview of the Ten Commandments as found in Exodus 20.
Loving God and loving your neighbor is obeying or living God's law. Matthew 22, verse 39. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. This is where the idea of the golden rule originally came from. Treat others the way that you want to be treated. Revelation 4, verse 11. Thou art worthy, O Lord, to receive glory and honor and power, for thou hast created all things, and for thy pleasure they are and were created. Thou art worthy of glory, honor, and power, and love, because thou hast created all things. What will be the identifying characteristics of God's true, undeceived people in the end time? Revelation 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God, and have the testimony of Jesus Christ. Revelation 14, verse 12. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God, and the faith of Jesus. God's true, undeceived people will be loving people according to the description of the Ten Commandments. What is the whole duty of man? Ecclesiastes 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. Keeping his commandments. Having Christ-like love. What is our whole duty? It's having Christ-like love. Everyone keeping the commandments would truly solve all the problems of mankind. God would be supreme, no atheist and no evolutionist, no worshiping anything other than God, no fake Christians, everyone honoring God's special day, all children honoring their parents, no hating and murdering, no unfaithfulness to wives or husbands, no breaking and entering or stealing, everyone protecting their neighbor's reputation, and no one would desire what someone else has. What is the function of God's law? Romans 3 verse 20. Therefore by the deeds of the law there shall no flesh be justified in his sight, for by the law is the knowledge of sin. God's law reveals what is sin. It is the knowledge of what sin is. Everything that is not loving is sin. To what does the Bible compare God's law? James 1 verse 23. For if any be a hearer of the word and not a doer, he is like unto a man beholding his natural face in a glass. Verse 24. For he beholdeth himself and goeth his way, and straightway forgetteth what manner of man he was. Verse 25. But whosoever looketh into the perfect law of liberty, and continueth therein, he being not a forgetful hearer, but a doer of the work, this man shall be blessed in his deed. The Bible compares the law to a mirror. Looking into it, we can see our true selves. The law shows us our need, but Christ is the solution. 2 Corinthians 3 verse 18. But we all, with open face, beholding as in a glass the glory of the Lord, are changed into the same image from glory to glory, even as by the Spirit of the Lord. By keeping our eyes fixed on Christ, we are changed into his loving character. Any additional questions can be directed to the email listed.